G'day YouTube, Vadu29 back with you again, and welcome to another league. Yeah, cool. I would do my normal layout, but honestly it takes forever to do, and I'm super busy, so we're just going to do it on Showdown. I'll still explain everything and whatnot. Basically, as you guys know, I am the head coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, and what we are entering is, this is actually the second season of the Orange League. Now you guys might not know what the Orange League is, but I know it very well. During my off time, I was helping out with myself, Aiden, Adam, and Jack, and we were all together in a team. We collabed on a team called the Bhutan Bohemians in this league in the first season. In the end, Aiden and Jack kind of dropped off from the team, but Adam and I kind of persevered right to the end of the finals, and we ended up winning the whole thing. So coming into this season, Adam, Jack, and I decided to all split into our own separate teams. Also, some people you might know in this league, we've got Leroy and Plumber, who was the guy who actually not only made this league, but is a part of the UBC as well, so definitely go check him out. We also have J-Specs from the UBC, we have River from the UBC, so a lot of really good familiar faces, but also a lot of new guys you guys look out for. Anyway, drafting system was again basic GBA, but there were 12 people this time, so it meant that a lot of picks were going thick and fast. And I had a bit of a, I had a plan. Everybody has a bit of a plan when it comes to drafts, and I knew straight up, if I could get it, I wanted Clefable. And I did get it. I mean, I know that you guys want to see me be a bit more versatile, and I get that, but at the end of the day, in this format, Clefable is the perennial fairy type. You're not going to find a better one, that's just how it is. It is a very difficult one to build for, it's a very difficult one to face, and also to build for. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to pick it up. The fact that it gets so many different moves, just being a pure fairy type, as you can see the bulk there is fantastic. Its HP and special attack are the same, so it can hit very hard as well. I'm not going to try and take you through all the sets that it can have, because you already know a lot of the things that it can have, but I basically just wanted to show off the fact that, you know, I've got Clefable on the team, and as you guys know, if I have a Clefable on the team, its name is Johnson. I probably won't do the backing thing for this, I'm just going to do it pretty mellowed out today. So that was my first pick, and I was 4th pick out of the whole group, which meant basically it went all the way down, all the way back up to me, so I had to wait a while. Fortunately, I got to this pick, and my drafting strategy this season was actually to save a lot of my better picks, I guess, until later on. And instead, I decided to go on a route of taking the best mons that I could from each of the tiers that I felt were the best, and so I knew that this mon would be a very, very good pickup for my team. I felt that it would be a very crucial member and be able to fulfill a lot of roles for my team, so I knew I really needed it. And that is Mamoswine. And Mamoswine, I think, is the best tier 2 mon, or one of the best tier 2 mons. It is an incredibly hard Pokemon to team build for its ability to run 2 very, very good stabs in Ice and Ground, have a lot of really good moves, have a fantastic amount of bulk, which is surprising to some people. Also being able to have a lot of good moves, like I said, like Stealth Rock and Taunt, make it a very, very viable Pokemon, and a very, very important one as well for my team. I felt that Mamoswine can disrupt a lot of opponents' plans. You can run a lot of different sets, be it Banded, Life Orb, Focus Sash, you know, a lot of really good options there for Mamoswine, and I call my Mamoswines Manfred. But I do feel like Mamoswine has a lot of purpose in the league. It is a very difficult Pokemon to wall. That dual stab is very, very tricky to deal with, because flying types can stop the ground type attacks, but then they struggle against the ice type attacks, so there is always that. But I'm very excited to see what Manfred can do. I really wanted to use Mamoswine more in this league format, so I'm stoked that I was able to get him. And I'm also really stoked that I was able to get my next pick. I do think it is the best tier 3 mon, period. And I really wanted to snatch it up, and I was able to, and that was awesome. So I was able to get my boy, and you already know, his name is Flubber, Reuniclus. Now, Reuniclus in this format is crazy good. Like, really, really good. I think it is phenomenal at what it can do. Its ability to just quite easily set up on the opponent is fantastic. Having Magic Guard means that status doesn't really do anything to it. Also hazards don't do anything to it, so that's fantastic for me. It pairs really nice with Clefable in that matter. Its only weaknesses are pretty much dealt with by other types on my team quite easily. I can switch in on the physically offensive mons and especially offensive mons as bulk either way, but I can use to my advantage, and I think it's just going to be a very, very good Pokemon for the team, as it's very versatile. Although it is mainly an offensive Pokemon or a bulky setup sweeper, it is very, very versatile in what it can do. It can set up the Trick Room, it can T-Wave, it can do a lot of really good stuff for the team, and so that's why I was very, very excited to get it. I expect it to come into a lot of battles just because of its ability to be so, I guess, like, the term in, like, card games is splashable, as in it has the ability to just go, like, boom, it's on the field, it can just do whatever it needs to do. And I think that's what Flubber's going to be able to do. Let's go to the next pick. Now, the next pick, this is, again, another one of my favorite ones. I was able to pick up a lot of my favorite, I reckon the first 5 picks were 5 of my favorite Pokemon to use in this format. And I knew that I had a lot of experience using them, and so I knew I could use them really well. And so, my 4th pick, the best tier 4 Pokemon, I think, Spit Roast the Emboar. Now, if you guys haven't been seeing recently with my UBC matches, I have really tried to be as versatile as possible with this Emboar set. I do feel that it is an incredibly versatile mon, be it on the defensive side with that 110 HP, but also the fact that it has 123 attack and 100 special attack means that I can use it both ways, and it can have a lot of good options for my team. It has access to Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, just, you know, standard like Flare Blitz, Superpower, Reckless, all that bang, hitting hard, good stuff that we love. It is a fantastic wall breaker, a decent wall in itself, but its main job for my team is going to be busting through a lot of my opponent's defenses, because if they don't have a very, very big wall to take care of it, then it's just going to blow through them. There isn't really much else to say about Emboar. Its wall breaking capabilities are the main reason I decided to pick this bad boy up. Now it came to tier 5, and there aren't really too many good tier 5 Pokemon, but I feel like this guy is a budget option down there. Pairs fantastically with Clefable, and I think just makes our team better in a whole, and that is Quagsire. Now I don't really know why Quagsire is in tier 5. This thing used to be actually a very good staple in OU for its ability to basically shut down setup sweepers. With the Unaware ability, Quagsire does not care about your setup sweepers, because it's Unaware clearly states it ignores the stat changes that happen, and so because of that, Quag can kind of just not really care. Now you might think, but you know, his bulk isn't that great. It doesn't have to be ideal. It's like Clefable, it doesn't have to be ideal. The fact is that if your opponent tries to get up to plus 60 can make a win, and they ran into this, they're not going to be able to get through it that much. So I feel like Quagsire is a very important Pokemon for the team, as I can run it even offensively with base 85 attack. It can do some pretty good damage there. Access to Scald, Toxic, Earth Power, Recover. It has really good options there, and the fact that it is Unaware makes it even better for the team. Now, in honor of Aiden, who's not going to be a part of this, he's going to be an analyst instead. This will be a male shiny Quagsire every week called Mozart. That's for you, Aiden. That's for you, buddy. Anyway, going on to the final pick. Now, I had a plan to get Clefable, Chansey, and Skarmory as my core. Disgusting as it sounds, that was the plan. Unfortunately, that plan came awry when a man by the name of Stab decided to get his sweet revenge after the UBC, and full on went full 360 no-scope, sniped Skarmory straight away from me. So I was like, alright, cool, I don't have Skarmory now, what am I going to do? I had to reshuffle my plans, and I decided with my next pick to go with Mandibuzz. Now, Mandibuzz is a really cool mon in this format. I think actually it's very, very underrated. First off, it has the ability to bypass all those Spore and Sleep Powder users. I'm looking at you, Venusaur, and Amoonguss, because I have the ability. Pardon me. Overcoat. Overcoat, thank you. Okay. It also has incredible bulk, 110 HP, 105 defense, 95 special defense, and, pardon me, a very good base 80 speed. Allow me to possibly speed creep a lot of threats that my opponents might try and bring, which is really cool. I can even run offensive Mandibuzz, say, and I don't know if I get a fighting type move, I highly doubt. Rock Smash. Because that was worth it, right? But my point still stands that my Mandibuzz has a lot of possibilities to it. Its bulk is phenomenal, and that is one of the main draw cards to it, is the fact that it can take hits incredibly well. It has access to Defog, to Roost, to Taunt, to Brave Bird, to Knock Off, to Foul Play. It's got a lot of things that it can do, guys, even Whirlwind. So It can shut down the setup supers too. Mandibuzz I feel is going to be a very, very important member of the team. It pairs very nicely already with Reuniclus, being able to resist some stuff from that. Pairs really nicely with Quag as well, because Quag is an electric immunity. And it also pairs quite nicely with Clefable in a sense, kind of. But that's basically so far what we had. That was the first 6, and I was kind of like, yeah, it's okay, but then I had to kind of fill in the holes, and so in order to do that, I'm going to have to pause and pull up the next group. Okay, so now it's time to finish off the rest of our team, and so starting things off, we have Registeel. Did I even nickname my Mandibuzz? I did not. I will go back and do that right at the end. But normally Registeel, I'm trying to remember what the name of the other Registeel that I had was. Normally I just call it Yonen, so I'll probably just call it Yonen again. Just easy that way. Registeel is again another fantastic defensive mon for my team, pairing with Mandibuzz and especially Clefable phenomenally. They form a really, really nice little core, and it is the beginnings of a kind of fairy dragon steel core. But the fact that it has 150 defense and 150 special defense is ridiculous. That part is freaking insane in the membrane. Its base 80 HP means that it can run pretty bulky sets and be able to take hits incredibly well. The big draw card as well about Registeel in this case is more or less the fact that it can take a lot of good hits, it can set up hazards, it can deal with a lot of big, powerful threats, specifically those fairy types, those poison types, and even the normal types that my opponents might bring. It can deal with those very nicely, and I feel like Yonen is going to be a very good member of the Frogadiers this season, being our main rock setter most likely, but also being a fantastic wall for the team. Moving on, I wanted to go with a few offensive picks to basically finish off and then go with a solid Mega. And with the points that I had, I realized I could be pretty cheeky with my last few picks. If I chose a Tier 3 Mega, that would allow me to get 2 more Tier 3 Pokemon and pick up a Tier 1 Pokemon on the way. So that's the way I decided to go. I knew I needed a Grass and Poison type. Amoonguss was taken. Other things were taken, so I decided to go with Roserade. Now Roserade, you don't see it as much, and I think that's a crime. I think Roserade is actually a very nice Pokemon in this format. Base 125 special attack is really good, and for its typing, it is probably one of the most offensive grass poison types that isn't Mega Venusaur. It's got about the same special attack, I believe, as Vileplume, but it also has the same special defense, even more than Amoonguss has. Now, it might not have as much defense as Amoonguss does, but it's still a very nice, solid mon with Natural Cure. I can take any status on this thing, so take Scalds and whatnot, and brush them off completely. It ain't a big deal. And I can just fire off some really powerful moves like Leaf Storm, Key Drain, Sludge Bomb, and also, if I'm not feeling Natural Cure at the time, I can run Technician, which means that any hidden power that I choose on Roserade becomes a base 90 hidden power, effectively almost making Hidden Power Fire a flamethrower. So that is really cool. I really like the sound of that for my team. I'm just hoping that Roserade can put the work. Its speed tier is kind of iffy, but its special attack is good. Its special defense is great. Its move pool is also cool. You get Toxic Spikes and Spikes, which are great moves. I believe you get Aromatherapy and Synthesis, so it has really an array of options. Now, it's got white hair. Who do I know? Who do I ever know that has like white hair? I don't know why this name, but I'm gonna call it Granny Rose. I'm not really creative. But Granny Rose is gonna be, I think, a really underrated attacker for us this season. So fingers crossed Granny Rose can put in the work. Now, coming into here, I was worried about my last Tier 1 pick getting sniped, so I figured might as well get it now. Now, initially, Jack the Miendosh picked this as the 3rd overall pick in the draft, then decided he wanted Kieran Black instead, leaving this thing right for the picking for us to pick up, and that's gonna be Manaphy, guys. So we were able to pick up Manaphy with our 3rd to last pick. A lot of people didn't have the points for it, but there were a couple of people that did, and I was worried they might try and snipe it for me, so I figured I might as well take it now, just to play it safe. So what can I say about Manaphy? This thing is crazy good. It's just so trying to put it in words how good this Pokemon is for you guys to understand. Its ability to just do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, is insane. Its Tail Glow is sometimes very, very hard to stop, and also one of the big draw cards to it as well is its ability to be able to just break through a lot of walls. It doesn't have the widest move pool, but the moves that it does have, it's able to use really, really well to break through what it needs to break through. It can run Calm Mind, Rain Dance sets, so it can beat stall teams. It can just run Tail Glow to smash through some offensive teams, or it can even run Specs or Scarf to break through some other teams that maybe will try and speed creep or do some shenanigans around my Manaphy. I normally call my Manaphy's Crazy Horse, and the reason why I call him Crazy Horse is because he's like an Indian doing a rain dance. It's really bad, I know, but basically I think that there's not much else I can really say about Manaphy. You know the move pool, you know what it can do. It's a fantastically diverse mon, and I really am excited to see how much work we can put in, because I feel like it is going to be our most important mon this season. Anyway, we have 2 picks left of this draft. Next up, I wanted a normal type to finish things off. I basically had to choose between a normal type, a bug type, or a ghost type. I also had a rock type that I could pick up, but I decided against it. Anyway, it came up to being a normal type that I chose because it was the best thing I could get in tier 3. Its versatility is pretty darn good, and I'm keen to see how we go with it, and that is Snorlax. Now you might be thinking, Snorlax, what the hell, Vertigo? I've never seen you use this before. You're damn right you haven't. But I think that's an awesome thing. I think it's awesome that I haven't used Snorlax before, because it just shows that we can use something different, and that we can be a little bit different. And that's what I want the Tampa Bay Frogadiers to be. Not this team that's always like a one-trick pony with that Clefable. Sure, I use Clefable a lot, but the rest of the team is getting a bit more diverse. I'm using some different stuff. It may be because other things got sniped, I'll never tell. But it's a really cool Pokemon, Snorlax. Immunity prevents it from being poisoned. Thick Fat weakens as fire and ice types. And Gluttony is basically a berry activator, which can work sometimes on other sets, but mainly Thick Fat is the one we're going to go with. It's just easier that way. Ow. I really like Snorlax in this format, to be honest. I think its bulk is immense. It's fantastic bulk. And its offensive pressure is really cool. With base 110 attack, you can do some serious damage to some Pokemon. And that's what I'm really hoping Snorlax can do for us this season, is do some serious damage to some serious threats and put in some serious work. Serious work, guys. Like, I think Snorlax is going to be doing a lot of hard work for our team. And I think that its move pool, I don't know if you've seen Snorlax's move pool. Let me just scroll through some of the things I can learn. We got like Fire Punch, Flamethrower, Focus Blast, Gunk Shot, so those fairies aren't safe. Iron Head, Power Punch, Seismic Toss, Seed Bomb, Superpower, Thunder Zen, Headbutt, Whirlwind. It's crazy. It is insane. And its bulk is phenomenal. Its speed I don't really care about, but it can run some really cool sets. And I think Snorlax is going to be a super important member for the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, and I decided, judging on how he looks, to call him Beanbag. Anyway, we come to our final pick of the season, and with the points that we have done, this allowed us to get 1 tier 3 Mega, and if you haven't caught on already, I don't have an electric type, and there's only one electric type that chills in tier 3 Megas. It's also a dragon, and that is Mega Ampharos, which I call, not Fabio, I call it Worth It. Now, Worth It, if you guys have never seen me use Mega Ampharos before, that is okay. But look at the bulk on this bad boy. 90 HP, 105 defense, 110 special defense. This guy is crazy good. Backing up that is a base 165 special attack stat, meaning this bad boy can set up and sweep super easy. Like, super easy. It's going to be awesome to see this guy set up sweep sometimes. Dude, I'm trying to do a recording. It's just not on. Anyway, its bulk is going to be the big draw card, as it forms a really nice core again with Clefable, with Quag, with Mandibuzz, with Registeel. It's really good in that sense. Volt Switching and Dragon Pulsing and all that jazz, but also it can run the Agility set and effectively sweep entire teams by doing this. It's a fantastic momentum creator. It's also a fantastic dream crusher, as it is just an incredibly strong mon for my team, and its ability to break through opponents' walls or also to completely wall opponent's Pokemon is very, very tempting. It also pairs incredibly well with Manaphy. Shout out to Joey for that. And I think that Mega Ampharos is going to be a terrifying Pokemon for people to deal with and build for, as Mold Breaker can actually be really good breaking some sturdies on some things. Anyway, guys, that is basically it for the teams. Before I forget, I will nickname the Mandibuzz right now. I was thinking some kind of turkey joke. Yeah, we'll call it Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving turkey. Good. Alright, that is basically all the squad. I'll put them up there so you can see. I feel really good about our draft. I didn't feel good about it initially, but looking back on it, I think we've covered all of our types really well. The only type we've really doubled up on is water, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resists for. So I'm not really too worried if we doubled up on water. So, not a big deal. We can deal with that quite nicely. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you are hyped for this new season, make sure you smash that like button. I really appreciate your support. Also, make sure you comment, let me know what you think my best pick was, my worst pick was, and maybe some things that I should consider redrafting. I just realized as well that I also doubled up on a ground type. I mean, Quagsire, I really like it. I might keep it, I might not keep it, but the thing is, guys, if I was getting rid of Quag, I'd have to get a rock type, a ghost type, or a bug type. So let me know in the comments if you think there's a better Pokemon that I could put in there other than Quagsire, but for now, I really like him in there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you show me that support. It'll be really nice. I hope you guys have the nicest of days. It is Luge29, signing out.